My name is Roger Cazares. I was born in San Francisco del Oro, Chihuahua, Mexico, and I live in Chula Vista. My father was a copper miner at that time. He came to the United States. He became a machinist, and he worked at NASCO and then later for the Navy. My mother kept the family together. I always say that my father had the brains and my mother had the heart. When we left Chihuahua, we lived in Tijuana for about a year. We first moved from Tijuana to San Isidro and then to Frontier Homes in Old Town San Diego. There was a large government housing project that had several thousand units. When we moved from Frontier Homes to Shelltown in the late 40s, to me was beautiful. The community there was very close and it was very diverse, and it's like the United Nations. It was white, black, brown, yellow. It was a great experience growing up in a very diverse community. My parents, always pushed their 11 children to go to school, to go to college, further their education. When I graduated from Sweetwater High School in 1960, my counselor, Major Schultz, convinced me that I should volunteer my draft, which I did, and I got drafted right away in the Army. So I was there for 2 years. I was at Southwestern College when it started up at Chula Vista High School. They hadn't built a new campus yet, and they had a placement office, and I went to work at night at San Diego Trust and Savings Bank, and I worked there for about 6 years until I went to work at MAAC Project. MAAC was formed in 1964 by Latino, Chicano organizations that existed, like Hermandad Mexicana, Local 89 Laborers Union, American GI Forum, LULAC, Club Cuauhtemoc, Association for Bilingual Educators. They incorporated the MAAC project in 1964, and it started under the War and Poverty Act, providing services in 1965. It was one of the few organizations at that time that was really involved in community change and trying to change conditions of the lives of people in low-income, marginalized communities. The Mercado Apartments came to MAAC Project, probably 14, 15 years ago. We were developing, which we did. We put together the financing. Rich Juarez, Sylvia Martinez, Chuck Flax are the ones that worked on the program, on the project. And it was not an easy development to put together because the investors, particularly at that time, 12 years ago, weren't really interested in putting money into a low-income community. But we were able to put together 7 investors into the deal, and we pulled it off with a tax credit project, affordable housing tax credit project, and it was built and completed in 1994. I have often been asked whether I would change my job, and actually I was offered other jobs, but I would never have changed my job. I had such a great experience at MAAC Project. I got to learn best practices in community economic development and community building, learn to network and developing political strength in low-income communities. No, I wouldn't change my job or my experience of MAAC for anything.